In Cosmic Year 1, humanity, amid the boundless cosmos, established a home in the Allure Galaxy. Thus, the Cosmic Empire was born. In Cosmic Year 128, some humans migrated to the Nasia Galaxy and founded the Glory Federation. Two forces stood in opposition for hundreds of years. Meanwhile, the Chaosis Galaxy gradually rose to prominence during this era. Under external threats, the Sanctite Court, bound by an ancient faith, also saw its authority in the Empire grow with each passing day. And so, in the Cosmic Year 649, a new power struggle began to unfold under the reign of the Empire Empress. In the morning, the rising melody resounds outside my window and wakes me up from my dreams. In the Cosmic Empire, only male rulers throughout history have enjoyed this treatment, but as the Empire's future empress, I rightfully deserve it. Once the song ends, robot attendants serve pre-meal morning tea. The head housemaid begins her morning briefing.
Your Majesty, your coronation ceremonial fleet is waiting for the final confirmation. The ceremonial officials will discuss the court guard's formal attire this afternoon. Furthermore, the royal banquet hall is ready.
In the middle of sipping my drink, I pause, then I put down my teacup and use a silk napkin to dab the corners of my mouth. The scripts have arrived?
Yes, Your Majesty.
The image on the floating display changes. It reveals an interstellar bard from centuries past. This is one of the Empire's traditions. Every ruler has performed in a play at the royal palace before their coronation. This symbolizes the Empire's glory and the ruler's artistic transformation from a mortal to a national symbol. In other words, their will shall become one with the Empire's destiny.
As you requested, the plays for this performance were all selected from scripts adapted by famous interstellar bards and brought into the Empire. The theatrical celebration will last 2 weeks, and the individual who shall play the leading actor...
The holographic image switches to the banquet hall. Surrounded by nobles, two people dance together.
Since he will also share the first dance with you at the coronation ceremony, the criteria are strict.
A robot brings a silver tray with 5 distinctly styled invitations.
As per your instructions, the officiant has selected these distinguished guests. They meet the requirements. All of them hope to have the honor of sharing the first dance with you.
5 candidates. None of them is to be underestimated if they can stand out in the entire galaxy. After all, this dance represents not only the Empress's favor, but also a binding of power. Whoever stands by my side will see their faction unite with the Empire in ascent. They shall stand above countless galactic forces. Looking at the exquisite invitations before me, I reach out. My fingers glide across the cool surfaces adorned with letters, then my hand stops on. With the coronation ceremony fast approaching, the theatrical performances requiring the Empress's participation during the festivities have also been added to the schedule. The leading actor will dance with the Empress during the coronation ceremony. It's a great honor for whoever is chosen. However, things didn't proceed as smoothly as I expected. On the day after a response was sent to that leading actor... Are you saying he can't be found?
Yes, Your Majesty. Mr. Xavier provided no contact information, and our messengers were unable to locate his residence. Would Your Majesty consider...
I understand. You may leave. As for this Mr. Xavier, I will find him myself. It's almost noon by the time I finish today's Imperial Matters. When I look up, I see a mirthful gaze. Somehow, the recipient himself is already in my study. He's holding an ornate letter.
The coronation hasn't taken place yet, and already word has spread across the stars about the Empress's diligence.
That is to be expected of an Empress, after all. The preparations for the coronation ceremony have been underway for ages. There were so many details and so much work, but ever since I found this sleeping prince drifting in the cosmos, life has felt a little less dull.
You're right. Since we've met, the amount of hard work you've done is certainly enough to be praised for quite some time.
Xavier, Did I ever mention you should probably follow some of the royal rules while you're here? For example, you can schedule a visit in advance like other people. The attendants will escort you through the main entrance.
That messenger robot was wandering around outside the city. It asked everyone if they knew a Mr. Xavier. I figured it was you.
So you decided to visit without notifying me.
This letter has your name on it. I didn't want to miss your correspondence. And since I received your letter, etiquette dictates that I should thank the Empress in person.
It's been a long time since I accidentally discovered Xavier's sleeping pod in the cosmos. He has remained an invisible presence in the royal capital. Only I know he's the prince from centuries ago, someone who, accordingly to historical records, perished in deep space. He's almost like a legend. Although hundreds of years separate us, he knows the history that's been buried in stardust better than anyone else. The prince's identity is an invaluable weapon for me. Only through him can I learn about the dark secrets that the previous dynasty's old guard wishes to erase. In return, I can use my authority as Empress to help Xavier investigate who's responsible for his exile. This is a mutually beneficial arrangement, one we both understand without needing to say it. To familiarize ourselves with the play, Xavier and I head to the palace library. The Lingering Sword is a story about fate and revenge.
This doesn't seem to be the same as the one I read back then.
It was supposedly adapted by an interstellar bard. It's popular among the commoners. And the earliest version of the story is impossible to trace back to... In the play, a prince named Hamel learns that his father, the king, was murdered. The culprit is his uncle, thus Hamel seeks revenge against him. During his quest for vengeance, the prince falls in love with Adeline, a noble maiden. She notices his inner turmoil and secretly aids him. She sees through the poison scheme, replaces the poisoned wine and sword meant to harm Hamel during the duel, and publicly exposes the king's true nature. In the end, Hamel slays his enemy, and after enduring a price paid in blood and tears, the two of them survive. I made this arrangement to test Xavier, our former prince, to see how committed he is to our cooperation. Hamel constantly worries about what fate has prepared for him, but it still guides him on his path to revenge. Xavier is sitting by the window. I look at him and feel that his experiences are similar to Hamel's. If it were you, what would you do?
To surrender or to resist destiny? That is the question. But arrows of outrageous fortune and a sea of troubles might arrive at any time. So, I only want to do what I want to do.
What a novel perspective. Does this count as choosing to submit to fate?
I wouldn't call it that. If anything, maybe it gave me a push when I wasn't aware of it.
Sunlight filters through the stained glass windows of the library and lands on Xavier's gaze. His eyes reflect brilliant colors. He looks at me, his eyes crinkling with warmth.
After all, fate didn't bring me back. It was you, wasn't it?
In the royal banquet hall decorated with unprecedented magnificence, the first act of The Lingering Sword begins as scheduled.
The old king dies. A new one ascends the throne. Hamel encounters his father's ghost, learns the truth about the murder, and vows to take revenge. And this young royal's anguish is soon perceived by his beloved.
A bright spotlight shines toward me, playing Adeline. I walk briskly toward the center stage. Hamel, I have been looking everywhere for thee, my lord. Your friend said thou hast seen thy father. Is this true? In the darkness, Xavier's figure gradually emerges. Unlike his usual appearance, he wears a magnificent formal attire, and his demeanor is reserved and noble. As if noticing my scrutiny, he winks at me from an angle that the audience can't see.
The world has changed. Adeline, some matters art worse than ghosts.
Even if sharp swords threaten thee, I cannot let them pierce their heart. Let me provide aid. I move closer to Xavier and tightly grasp his wrists with both hands. Cool, hazy stage lightning washes over us, and ethereal mist makes us appear tinged with loneliness.
Nay, my fair nymph. Unbeknownst is the danger lying in wait, more frightful than a spirit of health and goblins damned. I mustn't let its horrors touch a single strand of thy hair. Mine own poor heart cannot bear to lose more in this rotting state.
Two is always better than one. If thy faith must be confronted, then keep walking toward the morrow. I shall always be there for you. Hamel, loneliness shall be thy companion no more. The curtains fall to the audience's cheers, displaying the hospitality of a gracious host. I raise my glass to toast the nobles.
I don't remember seeing you before. Which planet's nobility do you hail from? To win the Empress's favor, your background must be extraordinary.
You need more than noble blood to win Her Majesty's favor.
Oh, in that case, do you perhaps have a special secret?
All of you seem to be very curious about him. Xavier is surrounded by nobles. With a smile, I approach them and raise my glass. He belongs to the Empire's inner circles. That is all I can tell you. It is not yet time to draw the blade, however. The coronation ceremony shall soon be upon us.
Indeed. I wish you well, gentlemen. And don't forget that troublesome weeds occasionally need to be removed.
Seeing the nobles be deflated as they retreat, I finally allow a small smile to appear on my face. Then I click my glass against Xavier's. Not bad. I suppose you're skilled at dealing with these sorts of situations.
Does acting like this count as helping you?
In a sense, yes. Come to think of it, I lack a sufficiently sharp blade. If you can handle this, then I wouldn't mind giving you more of what you want in return.
I understand. Then, can I prove myself worthy of this role with this?
Using my sleeves as cover, Xavier extends his hand. In his palm, a message appears on a holographic screen. The information is encrypted, but I realized it's a list with the names of nobles from the palace.
Ever since the performance began, a few rather extreme rumors have been circulating in the royal capital. These are the names of the people who have been spreading them. I believe they'll be useful to you.
When did you... Immediately, Xavier grabs my wrist and the list is sent to my terminal.
I heard that the aerial garden has introduced quite a few new species of flowers. Rather than worry about people's affairs, why don't you accompany me for a stroll first?
I had a strange dream. In it, I was Prince Hamel. The magnificent throne was right before my eyes, and I walked toward it, my feet touching the red carpet. The bell rings at midnight. Countless ghosts with indistinct faces appear between me and the throne. Who are you? What do you want me to do?
Save us! Kill him! Avenge!
Everything spins. The ghosts suddenly vanish, and in their place stands Xavier. His body is covered in wounds. He's wearing attire that befits royalty, and his gaze carries a fierce gleam. He's somewhat different from the Xavier I know, one who has always been calm and quiet. Why are you here? Those wounds!
Stay back. Escape is no longer possible.
Xavier, wait.
Wake up.
Sweat soaks my forehead as I wake with a start. At my bedside lies Xavier. He's drowsy.
Did you have a nightmare?
Yes. Wait, why are you here?
I was walking around and saw you were sleeping at your desk, so I carried you to your bed. And then I fell asleep.
Let's set aside the reason for why you were passing by my bedroom in the first place. What you're currently doing is enough to make the guards arrest you.
I only wanted you to have a good night's sleep.
Looking at Xavier's innocent yet matter-of-fact expression, I pinch the bridge of my nose. My mind drifts back to the dream I had. In my heart, the worries related to Xavier still linger. The Xavier in my dream, did he actually look like that 300 years ago? When it's time for breakfast, I head to the dining room. Xavier is sitting next to my seat.
A ceremony will be held today. Your attendant invited me to have breakfast with you.
Since you're here, you may help me finish the salad.
Are you a picky eater, Your Majesty?
Salad, boiled eggs, oatmeal. Nutritionists certified them as healthy, but eating the same dish every day is boring. Xavier looks down and rummages through his pocket. He produces a package of rainbow-colored puffed grains. Rainbow puff puffs? The snack is popular in the royal capital.
So you know of it.
I give my approval to import them, but they're high in calories. Too high, in fact, so they became contraband in the palace.
You can have one or two. There's nothing wrong with that.
We glance at their attendants who are standing in the distance. Then I quickly lower my head and bite the snack in Xavier's hand. I'm starting to see how you're more practical as a partner, Xavier.
If you like what you see, then I can offer other purchases.
After breakfast, I read the Empire's important news. It's part of my routine. Xavier, look at this.
The mysterious leading actor is actually the fourth illegitimate son of the soon-to-be Empress's uncle's second aunt's cousin. That's a complicated lineage. They must have stayed up all night to look at the royal family's pedigree.
Here's another one. Soon-to-be Empress's secret lover revealed. Will the royal family experience upheaval?
This one looks more interesting.
There are several more articles like it, and the headlines are practically identical. Xavier and I exchange a glance. The answer's already in our minds. Someone is controlling the media's narrative.
I guess a certain person is restless.
They're so curious about you. Why don't we give them something to look forward to? When your identity is revealed, regret will be the only emotion they will have left. However, I use my fork to tap the back of his hand. To make them show their hand, we need to put in a bit more effort. Giving people a convincing performance is an activity you excel at. Isn't that right?
What you said is true.
Xavier picks up a crystal clear peach from the dessert plate and turns to feed it to me.
But when it comes to convincing performances, having an excellent partner is important. Bend your knees a little. It'll be easier to attack from a low position.
That one doesn't count. Again! Since the play includes fighting for certain scenes, Xavier and I spar with swords during our free time. After several rounds, what surprises me is how Xavier can easily counter my moves, and he hasn't been physically active for 300 years.
Focus on your defense. Don't rush.
But now, you're the one who needs to be careful. As Xavier speaks, I take advantage of the opening to launch a surprise attack. I pin him to the ground and press my training sword against his throat. I win. If we follow dueling etiquette, you should offer me your sword as a sign of everlasting loyalty.
According to the dueling etiquette from 300 years ago, the victor should help the loser stand to demonstrate magnanimity and trust.
I raise an eyebrow as I look at Xavier, who's under me. Alright, I will human ancient relic. When I grab his hand, he pulls me toward him. You schemed against the Empress. I'm afraid your list of crimes got longer, Xavier.
Since I already have a multitude of charges, why don't I accumulate a few more and provide monthly payments?
On our backs, Xavier and I rest on the ground. Sunlight brings in a wave of warmth, and I realize I don't dislike moments like this. He gently lifts my wrist. I turn to see Xavier has placed an ornate sword in my hand.
Agreeing to a bet means accepting any losses. My sword is yours now.
My fingers trace over the sword's solemn ancient patterns. It looks extremely old.
My father gave it to me during my coming-of-age ceremony.
I wonder what you were like 300 years ago.
Are you curious? I happen to know of a place that we can visit.
I follow Xavier's footfalls. We pass through corridors both bright and dim before finally stopping at a wall. Here.
Take my hand.
When Xavier holds me close, we are already on the other side of the wall. Before me is a dimly lit room with an antique style. All the furniture is covered in thick layers of dust.
This used to be my library. I heard that after I went missing, Father had this place sealed. It looks like it hasn't changed since I left.
I look around the room and note the open books on the desk and the astronomical instrument whose name I don't know. Everything still bears traces from hundreds of years ago. On the side wall is a portrait of Xavier. He is wearing fine robes and holding a scepter, and his dignified demeanor is cold and distant. What was your life like when you were a prince, Xavier?
I guess it wasn't too different from what you're experiencing now. There was an endless stream of matters to deal with, countless banquets to attend, and all the salad you could ever ask for.
Is that why you set out to find the interstellar gate? To leave that kind of life behind?
It was more about having control.
Xavier brushes the dust off me, and a certain light flickers in his eyes.
Aren't we the same in that regard? Whether it's a throne or the cosmos, what we choose is the tomorrow we want.
After handling today's domestic and international affairs, the sun has already moved westward. I turn off the holographic screen. Just as I'm about to relax, my robot secretary approaches.
Your Majesty's daytime work has finished. Thank you for your diligent efforts. May the Empire continue to be prosperous. In case you forgot, here is your schedule for tonight. The Minister of Strategic Planning has invited you to attend a reception.
Please tell him
that Her Majesty has an appointment with Mr. Xavier tonight.
At some point, Xavier has appeared by my desk.
My apologies. I cannot find any invitation related to Mr. Xavier on the schedule. Your Majesty, please.
Added, this gentleman is a special guest who will attend the coronation ceremony, and his invitation should be given the highest priority. Taking advantage of the time it takes for the robot secretary to record, I grab Xavier's hand and leave the study as quickly as possible. We only slow down when we leave the palace. Alright, now Mr. Xavier can tell me the specifics of his invitation.
It was just a spur-of-the-moment decision. Can't I invite you on a whim?
Xavier hands me a rabbit-shaped balloon. Its two comical rabbit ears flutter up and down.
Before the coronation ceremony begins, there are events being held in the city. I don't want you to miss them. And it seems like it's been a long time since anything outside of appointments has appeared in your life.
We avoid the bustling crowd and wander along the alleys. We stop here and there. With no attendants or guards, the breeze feels especially refreshing.
Nebula Shake. It happens to be the last one for today.
I take the drink from Xavier and take a big long sip. The children near the stall seem to have recognized you.
I don't know them, but they said I look like a prince who saves planets in a popular story.
What did you tell them?
I told them I'm not a prince. I'm simply a friend who serves as Her Majesty's errand boy for matters such as buying milkshakes.
We drink our milkshakes as we climb a spiral staircase up to a corridor. I look up. The view is excellent, and the entire royal capital can be seen at a glance. I guess you're well acquainted with this place.
This was where I watched people's lives, or saw the sunrise and sunset.
Xavier pulls me down to sit at the edge. This place is close to the real world. It truly is a place that anyone can like. The sweet aroma of bread drifts around the corner. With the warm evening sunlight, it envelops us. I close my eyes to savor this rare tranquility, but then he pokes my cheek a few times. Hey, what do you want?
If we get closer to the real world, will I get to see the real you?
Aren't I normally real?
No. I was just thinking about the you on stage, the you at banquets, and the you during our sparring matches. They're all like you. But which one is closer to the original you?
I'm home, Granny.
A child's voice resounds in the distance. We look toward it to see the little boy we met at the stall earlier.
Why did you come back so late? How was the festival?
It was lively. I saw a man who looks like a prince, and he's friends with Her Majesty. He also told me that the Empress likes rainbow puff puffs and nebula shakes. Her Majesty is just like us.
Nonsense. How could Her Majesty like those things? Dinner is ready. Wash your hands first.
The old woman takes the boy's hand and leads him into the house. Xavier and I exchange a knowing smile. This current version of me is one that I don't dislike. The coronation ceremony is imminent. The final act of the lingering sword begins in the royal banquet hall. In a corner of the hall where the chaos has somewhat subsided, bloodstains remain. After the prince strikes down his enemy, the story approaches its end.
Adeline, before me thou art hale and whole. I'm glad.
And not a single wound has touched thee. That cup of poison wine must have tasted terrible. Fortunately, thou didn't even take a sip. Xavier and I sit against the wall. He rests his head on my shoulder, his face showing a mixture of exhaustion and relief.
I owe thee my life. Thy bravery was insurmountable. The word gratitude cannot encapsulate my feelings.
I wouldn't say I displayed courage. In the face of such a dilemma, I believe thou would have made the same choice. Does it still hurt?
No.
I speak of thine inner turmoil. I point at his heart.
No. There's no pain. But my heart is seemingly empty.
Emptiness is good. A pure, crystalline heart ought to never be filled with hatred and lies.
Now that the future is upon us, what is thy next move?
Is this a request to stay? Xavier raises his head and looks into my eyes. Although he's asking Adeline, it's as if the question has been directed at me.
I don't know. My selfish heart prays for thee to accompany me. Yet reason says I cannot interfere with thine freedom.
I touch the blood-like makeup on Xavier's face and give him a reassuring smile. We may stay together and pick up the pieces. Perchance, not everything will be so terrible.
All right. Let us try.
The banquet is in full swing with toasts and lively conversations. Everyone is beaming with joy. Not wanting to spend too much energy on drinking and socializing, I slowly approach Xavier, who is standing alone in a corner.
It doesn't seem like you drank several glasses.
Fine wine is better when shared with someone worthwhile.
Such as a partner next to you?
Xavier clinks his glass with mine, and his left hand gently grips my wrist.
I tracked down the source of those rumors. Here's the latest intel. Handling it will be up to you.
Encrypted information appears on the terminal. A few steps away from us, the nobles continue raising their glasses to celebrate. I look at those intoxicated expressions, and my mind is unusually clear. Gathering allies, controlling opponents, eliminating threats, all of these plans must be carried out after my coronation. Xavier, there is someone in this record I'm concerned about.
I agree. It looks like we might have a common enemy.
I meet Xavier's clear, unwavering gaze.
In that case, we must continue our cooperation.
You agreed more readily than I expected.
I have yet to come up with a reason to refuse. I'll stand by your side. We'll be like the characters in the play.
The final part of the coronation ceremony has arrived. In my bedchamber, attendants dress me in a gown adorned with intricate chains and jewels. I try my best to clear my mind, but my head is invaded by thoughts from the past few days. Help me get the brooch from the dressing table, Face.
Is this it?
I turn. Instead of my attendant, Xavier is giving me the accessory. What are you doing here? You're the Empress's honored guest. Quite a few people at the banquet are waiting for you.
Compared to them, there's someone here who's more important for me to see.
Xavier puts my sheer gloves on my hands, his warm palm supporting mine.
For an important occasion, it'd be ungracious of me to abandon my partner. Also, as the Empress's dance partner and designated leading actor, I should be by your side.
Everything is ready. What awaits me is the dazzling throne at the end of the red carpet. Another galaxy, the official places the crown that symbolizes royal power on my head. I swear to carry compassion in my heart. With the galaxy as my witness, I shall do everything in my power to act on behalf of the Empire. My conviction will be known to all. With melodious music around me, I lift my dress and walk on the red carpet to approach Xavier. He extends his hand to me, and we pass through the rows of royal guards to reach the dance floor.
May your coronation be a joyous occasion.
Has anyone ever told you how you should address a newly crowned monarch?
I'm still slightly unfamiliar with the current era's customs. Can I still call you that?
What do you think? You're the best at acting first, asking for permission later, and then playing dumb. Starlight glimmers across the dance floor as we glide among the guests. Our steps sway in sync. Xavier, sometimes I think people can do more than just submit to fate or defy it. Power, revenge, freedom, I want all of them. And because I want so many things, I won't be satisfied with submitting or defying. I want to make the same choice you did.
To have control over everything? But people say this is the most difficult path.
Only the most difficult path is suitable for you and I, who hold the highest authority, no?
Indeed. Whether it's exploring the starry sky or rising to lead a nation.
As the song ends, Xavier holds my hand. A kiss lands on the tips of my fingers.
I'll accompany you through everything. However, we still have a bit of time before that day comes. Letting fate wait a little longer is also possible.